said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content. Yo, I just got back from Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family where I just watched the Bucks pull off a great win again. Hey man, in the fourth quarter, the Bucks are a problem. The Bucks are a beast in the fourth quarter. Jesus. That was our best defensive quarter. We held them to 23 points. I still don't understand why we can't bring it all four quarters, but I'm just happy we won. Shout out to Campaign. Campaign played well throughout the game. Middleton and Bobby Portis played well early. Giannis played excellent in this game. I feel like this is a team effort. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in double figures. This is a great offensive performance, but again, we're having issues on defense as far as stopping guards. Let's get into these numbers, y'all. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the best chat on YouTube. This is the best Bucks podcast on YouTube. Shout out to the people. Salute, salute. Let's get into these numbers. So Bucks win 132-121. The first quarter was crazy. We scored 42, but let them score 37. I believe we allowed Murray and Trae Young to get in the rhythm early. The drop defense by Lopez, I think he was dropping way too deep into the paint and allowed them to get rhythm with the runners, and then eventually led to them getting hot from three. When Lopez is dropping coverage, there has to be some type of maximum length that he can drop, because I was watching him drop underneath the basket and then turning his basket to block, turning his body to box out instead of trying to put his hand up to alter the shot. It was really weird what he was doing out there. It was really really weird. I don't like the drop coverage. I don't think that he should drop further than the restricted area underneath the basket. He needs to be in front of that at all times. You have to try to direct these people off of that runner. Also, maybe we should start running under the screens, maybe, because we can't run over the screens. So maybe running under the screens will help us better defensively, or going to the 2-3 zone. I still don't understand why we don't go to the 2-3 zone. I still don't get it. But let's get to these numbers. And this dude was hooping too. And Sadiq Bey is tap water. He had 17 points, 9 rebounds. Capella had 10 points, 17 rebounds. Trae Young was hooping. He had 32, but -8. DeJounte Murray had 30, but -7. And then Bogdanovich came off the bench and scored 14. They shot almost 40% from three, 44% from the free throw line, 76% from the free throw line. And the referees were terrible in this game. The referees were absolutely awful. I almost threw my drink 3 times at Fiserv Forum due to due to the officiating. I mean, we couldn't get a call. They're getting touch fouls. They're getting breathe on fouls. Like, it's really starting to become a problem with how these refs are treating the Bucks at home. Even at home, I feel like it's an away game. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's really wild. Giannis was hooping. 14 to 20 from the field, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. That's 80%. 11 rebounds, 10 assists, the triple dub. He had 2 steals, 1 block, 5 turnovers, +8, 32 points. Middleton was 5 of 9, 2 of 4, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, which is good for Middleton, 12 points. I feel like Middleton did all his damage in the first half, but he didn't really do too much in the second half. Lopez played decent. 33 minutes, 3 of 7, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. This man had 2 rebounds and he played 33 minutes. Hey, yo, we got to start talking about this rebounding with Lopez. This is crazy with Lopez. You're 7 feet. You got 2 rebounds. You got out rebounded by Damian Lillard. Lillard had 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Let me chill out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't want to make this too long. I want to make sure I get to the comment section. So Lopez had 4 assists. He did have 4 big blocks, 11 points. Damian Lillard, 38 minutes, 10 of 16, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. This is where I have a problem. he should have shot at least 10 free throws in this game. Every time he took it to the hoop, he was getting fouled, and they didn't call anything. They couldn't. I couldn't believe they wouldn't give Dame a call, but nonetheless, Dame had 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 turnovers, plus 14, tied for the highest plus minus on in the game. 25 points. Beasley had 16. He played pretty good. His defense is still Matador defense, but he played well offensively. 6 of 11, 4 of 7, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 16 points. Bobby P had a resurgent game. Shout out to Bobby P. He was playing terribly and finally bounced back with a strong game. 7 of 13, 11 rebounds, no assists, steals, blocks, or turnovers, 15 points. And to me, one of the most important players in this game today, we got to give props to Cam Payne. Cam Payne was hooping 7 of 11 in 20 minutes, 7 of 11, 2 of 6, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, plus 5, 18. AJ Green didn't give us anything. Beauchamp had 3 points and plus 14 in 17 minutes. This is crazy. Shout out to the Bucks shooting. We shot 60% from the field. That's amazing. 60% from the field, 42% from the three, 80% from the free throw line. So offensively, we're playing awesome offensively. Defense is the problem. Defense is definitely the problem. We had 36 assists, which was good to see. We did have quite a few turnovers, 16 turnovers. We did dominate points in the paint, which was good to see, 60-38. So I mean, we did what we needed to do. We outscored them in points off turnovers. We have more fast break points. The offensive rebounds is still a problem, ladies and gentlemen. 15 offensive rebounds is crazy. That's crazy. 15 offensive rebounds is crazy. That's still a problem that we need to address. And also on like on ball defense with guards. I'm putting a link in the chat for y'all to join. Just posted that there. And without further ado, let's see what Bucks Nation got to say. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about Cam Payne today. He got to get his flowers. He was balling today. Payne was balling. Payne was balling today, y'all. We got to give him his credit. He was balling. Let's get into this comment section. I see you, Stacy. I see you, Bucks #1, Joshua Gibson, Saul Cali, Brandon, Daniel. I know more than you. I see y'all. Kenny LaFortown. I see you, Eliza. I see you, James. I see you, Keith. Let's get in here. Oh yeah, my man tapping in. Let me get myself together. Hey, I don't see you on the screen. Hey, hold on, Mr. Smith. I just lost my mouse for whatever reason. Where's my mouse? Hold on, I'm gonna tap you in 1 second, Mr. Smith. What's up with the mouse? There we go. There we go. All right, I'm tapping y'all in 1 second here. Let me just get a couple comments out here, and then I'm gonna tap y'all both in. Hold on 1 second. All right. Eliza said, "Thank you, Giannis, for hitting free throws." Like, yeah, he's definitely been getting it together on the free throw line, for sure. Mr. 414 said maybe we can trade Pat for Marcus Smart. That's too much money, and they not doing that, bro. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having Marcus Smart because we definitely need an on the ball defender. Mr. 414 said them antlers came out sharp, and all them Hawks was getting gore. Turn them Hawks into shish kebabs. That's how you play going forward. No nonsense basketball. Face orange frowning. Shout out to you. All right, let me tap y'all in. I'm gonna put the comments as we chatting there. Shout out to y'all. Let me get you up here. There we go. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Mr. Smith. Salute, salute. Hey, y'all, let's make sure to get them likes up in here, y'all. We want everybody from Bucks Nation to be able to see that we going live and chop it up about the game that we just saw at Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family, where the Bucks got another W. Shout out Cam Payne. I want to give him shout out. He was hooping today. He made some key shots to stop runs. I was telling y'all, I was happy that we got Cam Payne because he's a very solid and efficient point guard that understands his role. I'm still very upset about Lopez and his rebounding. I just don't understand what's up with the rebounding. Also, our on ball defense, the guards get whatever they want. This drop coverage, there has to be some type of adjustment with this drop coverage. People are coming in with these runners or teardrops or whatever you want to call them at will. It's easy money. These are NBA players. They're not gonna miss them bunnies. I'm happy we won, but y'all tell me how you feel. Go ahead, Daniel. Then you, Mr. Smith. Go ahead, Daniel.
All right. First of all, what's up, everybody? I know
Salute,
a lot
salute.
with that live rent. I had to put the clips on the
That's all good, bro. I appreciate you.
off. I had to cut up a little bit. I had to put because I time things. You had to cut it up. I had a couple of ones. I hope you liked it.
Hey,
But
you should email me those too. I'm gonna post them up somewhere. Email me those little clips.
I'll email it
Okay.
to you.
Okay. Go
But
ahead though. Go ahead though.
it, man, but tonight was better. They kept the pace, and like we said before, their offense is their new defense now. But they if they can do a couple of wrinkles here and there, like I said, they don't need to be a top 10 defense. They just need to just have enough stops just to get the lead and just take over like they did in the fourth quarter tonight. If they can just do that every game, then we won't really complain about the games because they
But the
can.
thing is, they played the defense in the fourth quarter. They held them to 23 points. They
I
played
know,
well in the fourth. They played well in the fourth.
and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, And then like Brooke finally, what you were saying, he finally got into Trey and then stopped that stupid floater he been doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when they do a floater, you might as well put a red carpet right down. Here you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Red carpet, right?
Here,
And they were still hitting threes, but I will say a lot of those threes were contested, and they were just
well,
hitting some tough shots. They were hitting some tough
I'm not.
shots.
I'm not even gonna get on none of the guys because the guys are in their face. It was a couple of threes that we got mad about that they was just wide open threes, but most of it was contested threes, so you can't do nothing about that. But other than that, other than that, I love the win. They,
Appreciate it, Keith. Appreciate you.
it's still like a couple of wrinkles here and there. I believe that they still learning it out. They're figuring out what they need to do with defense. Like I said, Lopez should be getting more rebounds than just. She said two.
Yeah.
I was watching the game. I'm like, I thought he had more than two.
No.
I mean, all I kept saying like, stop getting on their floaters because Trae Young kept getting in there. Like, block him, get in his chest. Like he can't. Trae Young gets breathed on, get a foul here, and I'm
And
like,
that
what?
was my
Like,
problem. I think they were getting a lot of ticky tap fouls. Like that was ridiculous.
They
Right.
was getting smacked the whole game. Like, come on,
And
like,
he only had 2 free throws today. The rest was against us. They were
man,
our other ops today. So tell me how you feeling, Mr. Smith.
Well, firstly, salute to the chat. Right, God bless to everybody, health and happiness.
Yes,
salute
sir.
to Amara with the militant-minded thumbnail, looking like the Public Enemy album cover. Look like he about
You
to
like that?
start handing out final calls and tell people to stop eating pork. You ain't living right. Clean up your act. You ain't living right.
Right.
I'm in a better mood, man. I'm in a better mood. It was a better effort
Right.
tonight. What a difference a game makes when it comes to effort. I think I was so put off by the Chicago game, I didn't even want to offer any real analysis. It was so pathetic, and thankfully it's in the rearview mirror. I think, and it was like I said in the last the chat stream or whatever. I think when you have a game that bad, the coach doesn't even have to say anything, right? All he has to do is hold up mirrors in front of everybody and ask them, how do you feel about tonight? And do you feel like you gave me your all, in all honesty? And I think they came out with better effort. That was the first time I really felt that the first quarter that we really were engaged right
Agreed.
from jump. You know what I mean? And what a difference that makes just by itself. I'd have to go back and watch the game, but I felt like we stayed home on three-point shooters better than we did. It's not to say that we didn't give up three-point shots because they still made them. Right?
I feel they were contested though, Mr. Smith. Some of them were there were some open, but a lot of those were contested and step backs. I don't know what you can do for some of that.
Yeah,
And at that point, it just is what it is, right? Because if they're going to contest, like there was a shot, I forget who made it, and not Trey, DeJounte. DeJounte made a shot, and I mean, and Marjon was as close as he could be to the dude without committing the foul, right? You know what I mean? And so some of that stuff is just, it is what it is. They're NBA players. The mid-range shot, I go into Atlanta games and New York games for that matter, already knowing that we're going to get torn up in the middle because they have that team, those teams specifically have elite mid-court or mid-range shooters. Elite.
Correct.
They're not good. They're great, right? You know
Right.
what I mean? And so if you're going to beat Atlanta, is anyone else going to go off? And they did have 4 other guys in double digits, but I didn't really feel like a lot of them guys tore us up. I think a lot of their points, honestly, were off turnovers. So, you know what I mean? So, like transition opportunities. And that when they were facing our half-court defense, for the first 3 quarters, it was better than we had seen. And in the fourth quarter, we turned into, like, juggernaut, like, in the fourth quarter. How about that? You know what I mean? And so, you know, I was reading somebody say, what is Milwaukee's identity? I think Milwaukee's identity, what it's becoming under Adrian Griffin, is that we are a fourth quarter.
That's it. Appreciate you, Pat.
Team, right? And in games like this, that's when we can start reading all of those stats that look really good as far as what we're able to do in the fourth quarter. We, you know, coming off that Chicago game, when I wanted to read the stats, I couldn't because we played so bad, right? But in this particular game, you can kind of go back and look at those stats because it seems like we're back to normal. I know that campaign definitely deserves a big shout out. I want to give a shout out to somebody that I've been on relentlessly because I have not been pleased with how he's played previous, and I think tonight he actually had a better showing. I don't know if it's going to show up in the stat sheet. I like what I saw from Malik Beasley defensively.
He was fighting. Let's say that. I will say he was fighting today.
Yeah.
I would say he was fighting.
Just effort, man. Just show effort. You know, and I don't care what the stat sheet says. If my eyes are telling me that you out there busting your behind, I'm gonna give you a shout out. Especially if I've been on you. I'm gonna give you your flowers. If I'm gonna bark on you when you're not playing well and you look lazy and you look like you're disengaged and disinterested, then I'm gonna give you your flowers. And I liked what I saw from Beasley. Beasley in the fourth quarter, particularly defensively, is actually turning out to be one of our better players. I don't know if you've noticed this, right? You know what I mean? Because he's low-key, like, always jumping in these passing lanes. Right. And I was like, look at you out there looking like Grayson Allen, jumping in the passing lanes, getting these interceptions. I'm feeling it. If we could figure out a way to pace teams through 3 quarters so that we're not having to come out of 16-point deficits, and our fourth quarter juggernaut routine isn't to catch up to another team, but it's to pull away from another team, I'm feeling that. And that's what we look like tonight. We pulled away from Atlanta. Right. We didn't have to do that to kind of pace and catch up to Atlanta. We pulled away from Atlanta.
Because we were playing solid most of the game. We were playing solid, so we didn't have to fight back from some big lead. And like you said, we were able to pull away late. And I don't mind that. And we got to understand, too, the Hawks are a quality team. They're a playoff team. They got 2 great guards. This isn't no chump team. This is a solid playoff veteran team. You know, so
that's a fact.
So to get this type of win against them is impressive. And let's also give the defense props because in the first half, DeJounte and Trey both had about 20 or more points. The second half, we shut them down for the most part. DeJounte maybe had 6 points in the second half and maybe 10 for Trae Young. Considering how they were killing us in the first half, I take that as a win. So there were some minor adjustments that were made to at least slow them down. It at least slowed them down a little bit, which was good to see.
I asked you a question, Amber. Now, you know, before the live ended, you and Chi had a really conversation in the game. I mean, and you know, ended the live, and I understood, you know, back and forth, and I was back of when the last time a coach got fired, you know, mid-season. It was happened was 2004. Okay. It was black, but it's saying it doesn't really matter who it is. You know, last time I remember a coach really getting fired was your boy LeBron James getting that one guy out of there in Cleveland.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. I can't remember who that was, but yeah.
can't remember his name. That's how bad it was. He got him out of there, and they got Teron Lue there.
Right.
Now, now my question is now the NBA, like this year has been more offensive this year. Mr. Smith, this has been more offensive. You see what the Pacers are doing right now. They're
Right.
just blowing teams. You saw what they did to Heat. They put 144 on the board on them. And my question is to you both in the chat, what I mean is you guys expect the defense to really stop teams like that, like the Hawks and the Pacers, to win games because these teams are just I Pacers is legit to me,
No, they
and
are.
yeah,
I
and
agree.
I how this Bucks team either they're going to have to blow them out the gym or they got to just adjust to what the other teams are doing because I think this year is different because they have to play a different type of basketball than just trying to do what Buck used to do. But I mean, how you feel about that? You thinking that the Bucks need to play their pace like they did tonight against the Hawks, or you need to just adjust more to just try to not have these up and down games, and you need to get these guys some rest a little bit to try to get for the playoffs. So, what you guys think about that?
What you got, Amber?
I think it's the way the NBA is definitely going to be more offensive, but I do think there's things that we can do defensively to make things easier on us. And I still want to put out there that the 2-3 zone I think should be used a lot more defensively to slow some of these teams down, and at the minimum give them a different look. But yes, and then it's also against us too when the refs are giving the opponents every call. I mean, Trey Young was getting every call. Jajante was getting every call. And then Dame is not getting that same respect on our end. I felt was a definite problem in this game. It kept the game maybe a little bit closer than it should have been. I think the refs kind of kept this game closer than it should have been. But I do think that there needs to be some form of adjustments made with Griffin. It's like you know what's helping you, which is a 2-3, yet you don't want to use it. It's almost like you're trying to force a circle into a square for whatever reason. And I just would like to see what would happen if we maybe relied on a 2-3 zone or built off of that more. If it would make these games easier for us, that we wouldn't have to be in a dogfight and have to play so hard in the fourth quarter to get these wins. That's what I think.
Here-
You go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Here's what I feel.
I
I
see you,
mean,
Chidi. I'll tap you in a
absolutely,
minute. Go ahead.
absolutely, the offenses that we're seeing are some of the best offenses that we've ever seen, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? The shooting, you have a whole generation of people who grew up watching Steph Curry, right? And mastering really super deep threes and
Mm-hmm.
being able to pop them off right off the dribble. So, as far as like shooting is concerned, we're seeing some of the best shooting that we've ever seen, right? And you also combine that with our inability to play physical defense without fouling, right? So it's very
Mm-hmm.
much like the NFL, right? Where cornerbacks are kind of like holding their hands up, like, what am I supposed to do, right?
Right.
These guys are getting better
Yeah,
offensively, and you change rules to suit them even more. Why even bother playing defense? I don't think it's a complete lost cause, though. I think to beat a team like Atlanta, you do exactly what you did tonight, right? I don't want to say you wait for Trey Young and Dejounte Murray to tire out.
Cool
However,
off. I would say cool off is a little bit maybe
oh,
better. Yeah, maybe for them to cool off a little bit.
right? But I also feel like if we're giving up twos, right, and we're staying at home on the 3-point shooters, I'll live with Dejounte Murray and Trey Young having to beat an entire Milwaukee Bucks team by
Correct.
themselves, right?
I,
Now, yes, they let go some of the threes, but I do think, and again, I'd have to go back and watch the game,
Mm.
but I do think they did a better job at staying home and trying to limit everyone else going
I
off.
will say
And if
that.
that
Like
was the
a
game,
lot of those threes were contested. A good percentage of those threes were contested threes. They just were hitting, and
yeah.
that's part.
So if that was the game plan, that to me is I'm on record by being completely confused by what Coach Griffin was trying to do defensively. I think it's a lot more clear what he was trying to do defensively in
Mm.
this game, and I actually thought he did a fairly decent job at it. You know what I mean? As far as some of the stuff. Now, again, I don't consider it a failure if Marjan is all the way in Dejounte
Correct.
Murray's face and Dejounte Murray just makes that shot. That to me is a good defense, better offense moment.
Oh,
My
one second,
problem
Mr. Smith. One
was with
second. 1 second, Mr. Smith. It's almost 100 of y'all in here. Can we please hit the like button, y'all? It's just helping the live get into the algorithm and help more people that find the Bucks Nation, want to be part of this, to see the podcast and to see the live, y'all. Let's get them likes up. Come on, y'all. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
You know what I mean? So like I was saying, that's a good defense, better offense moment, right?
Right.
It's frustrating, obviously, if it's happening on your team, but I'm not angry at my team when that happens. Some dudes are just going to do that, right? Wait till we play
I agree.
the Phoenix Suns and you go up against someone like Kevin
Okay.
Durant. You're going to be
Right.
playing perfect defense. He's going to be
Or
scoring
Booker.
on
Or
you,
Booker. Right.
right? But my frustration is when teams were beating us with mediocre offense
Correct.
and
Correct.
mediocre game plans, and we were still letting guys go off. And I don't think I saw that tonight. So again, I've been hypercritical in the past. I'm not feeling like that about this game. I like what I saw, and this is a team that beat the brakes off us the first time they played,
Correct. Good
right?
Yeah.
redemption.
So how
Right.
about that, right? And we felt like a lot of guys came out the gate. You can see having taken the last game personally, right? Chris Middleton took it personally, came out the game. Now I know he cooled off
Yeah, 10
throughout the
points in like
game
6.
after that, but
Right.
he came out the gate and set the tone. Bobby Portis, when he came
He
in
he
the
he
game,
he made us
set
have
the
a good
tone.
first quarter. Let's give Middleton that. Middleton came
Yeah,
out strong. Bobby P came out strong. They set the tone in a way where we're not gonna have a bad first quarter this game, and I was cool
and
with
and
that.
and that's all I want. No, we're not going to be perfect every single game. We're going to lose every game, but not excuse me. We're going to lose some games, right?
Right.
But it's the effort for me. It's the effort for me. Show me that
I'm,
you're engaged.
Right.
Show me that you
I'm
care.
I'm gonna
Show me
let you
that you're
tap in.
respecting the
Yeah,
game.
exactly. No, I agree with you, Mr. Smith. Daniel, I'm gonna let you
Feel
get
me?
your last word. Then I'm gonna tap in Chitty here in a minute.
all right. Before I go, a lot, a lot of people like the reason why I brought that up because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people was on for the comments that would just get mad at other people for, oh, you don't believe in the team, blah blah. And I'm like, I was just pretty much telling them, like, look, it's not that I just want them gone. It's just that this, like you said, that I put the clips on there, that the clock is running. We don't got time to waste with this roster right now. We got to try to win a championship right now. And I understand that we need to be positive when they win. That's what we're doing right now. They won the game. They did the half of the game they did last time. But the thing is, I'm with Amber Elijah on this point of this team don't waste time. If Griff can't get the job done, then he has to go. But I understand that he needs to have time. I mean, tonight he did a good job tonight. He did a great
Correct.
job.
They played
But
well as a team, and they shot lights out. I mean, they shot almost 60%. The Bucks shot lights out tonight.
all right, before I
And
go,
people on
come here,
this channel, oh, I'm
Mhm.
come
sorry,
here,
go ahead.
come here.
Oh, he doing a lot right now. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Why he on doggy daycare over there? Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Then I'm gonna tap you
I
in,
was just
Chitty.
gonna say, my response to what he was saying
Uh,
is that I feel like people on this channel have given flowers to players when they're doing the right thing and they're
right,
playing well, even if they're not perfect. If they're saying, look, people have a right to be critical and spot what it is they're seeing, right? If we're fans of this, we're all fans of this, right? And if you're seeing some things that you don't like, you have a right to say it. If somebody has a problem with that, bottom line, go kick rocks with
right.
both feet. You know what I mean? I'm tired of defending that mindset. I don't even care anymore. You don't have to like what it is I'm saying personally, right? And because I don't think I'm being unfair. And I definitely give props to Giannis for getting a triple double tonight and
Right.
playing, I think, within the offense and not playing in a way that was taken away from other people, which he's not guilty of every single time he plays. So I don't want to paint that narrative or whatever. But I'm always pleased to see him going off and other people eating as well and eating good. You know what I mean? Campaign eating tonight.
Campaign played really well. He kept the
I think he
the
did,
campaign
man.
close.
Yeah,
He made some key buckets. He made key buckets.
absolutely. Right.
Appreciate that, King
Um,
Keith.
I saw a comment from Daniel Joseph who has said that Beasley is not a starting two guard in this league. For me, I'm giving him his props because he played better tonight, and it seems like he is getting better with time. And I want to pay special attention to that. giving him his props to say that I appreciate that. Right? There have been times where I've seen players run back on defense and not be able to catch up to the play, and the other
They
team
played with
scores. But you
purpose
know
tonight.
what?
Right. They played with
I'll stand up and clap the effort. I'll stand up and clap the effort. I saw you busting behind. Brook Lopez did that a couple of games ago. Brook
right.
Lopez is not a young man for basketball. He's always the biggest person on the court. So him sprinting back, that could be torn ACL, like
Right.
you know what I mean,
Anything
torn
could
hamstring or
happen.
whatever. You feel me? And he ran back and he made the play. So
Appreciate that.
I will clap when I see the effort. If I don't see the effort, I'm gonna let you know. If I do
Gonna
see the
roast him.
effort, I'm clapping for it. I'm
Oh,
clapping
roast you.
for it. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. Hey, what's your last words, Daniel? Then I'm gonna tap in Chitty here.
All right.
Uh,
Just peace and love. Peace and love. That's
all
all.
right, tap back
Hey,
in a minute. Let me get Chitty up in here. All right.
all right.
All right, stay
So,
stay stay tuned, Mr. Smith. Just stay here 1 sec. Let me get Chitty up in here. All right, Chitty, we gonna be calm today, brother. Let's go, bro. How you feeling, Chitty? Let
Hey,
me start the
I'm good.
clock.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Mr.
Your
Smith,
team is bouncy.
great analysis. Amara,
Uh huh.
don't worry. Yeah, you're chairman. You're chairman. Every time you do this show, I'm always happy because you're giving
appreciate
Box fans some hope and life. You know,
appreciate
but,
it,
but
appreciate it.
thank you.
So, how did you feel about today's
Yeah.
game?
Today's game was great. I think we came
Oh, it
we
looked
came
like he
into the game
froze.
with
All
the
right.
right mindset, the right mentality, and I think we played as a team. We played as a team. That's the most important thing. Like basically Edge came out and hit their shots. Like you can see that for so many years now, Giannis teammates have not really been serious about hitting their shots. That's why his assist APG has been down. It's not like
Okay.
he doesn't pass the ball. He does pass the ball, but they're brick shots. Even during the playoffs, it happened. And then last season, it was kind of like everybody was asking, what's the reason why Yannis APG assist per game is so low? Is it that he doesn't pass the ball? When we started watching games, there's this guy on Twitter, Matthias or something like that. He said something. He said it's not that Yanis does not pass the ball, but it's that the teammates don't knock down their shots. Meaning that they don't put so much effort into understanding the crowd that when Yanis drives in and there are like three players and they are forming that wall and he passes it out, you have to hit your shots because you're free and you're open. And
Mm-hmm.
players that were not doing that, Grayson Allen or Drew Holiday, part of them was he always wants to hit shots that are not comfortable for you. They give you open shots, so you want to drive in
But
where
let
two
but
guys
let's
are
be
guiding
positive.
you
But Chitty for
to hit your
today,
shot.
hey, but Chitty,
We're being
I
honest.
I
This
I,
is
I
how our
agree.
game
But
was.
let's be positive about tonight though.
Yes.
Tonight people were hitting their shots. We shot almost sixty
Oh,
percent from the field.
I keep saying, I,
You know what I'm saying? I think that was
Amara, I
definitely
keep
but
saying something, right? I keep
mm,
saying something, right?
mm-hmm.
Amara, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear
I
you. Go
keep I
ahead.
keep saying something, right? I keep
Uh-huh.
saying that. Okay, I keep saying that Griffin is a great coach.
Okay.
And from day one of our games, I've seen the changes in every of our matchup. I've seen the
Okay.
changes. First of all, I think Mr. Smith also pointed it out today. We're a great fourth quarter team. We're the clutchest team in the whole of NBA currently. No
Correct.
team, when it comes to the fourth quarter, can match up with
Right.
the Milwaukee Bucks.
I agree with that. No,
Right.
If
we're
for
a fourth quarter
nothing,
power. It's
he
not
has
even
beaten Bud. He has,
yeah. I agree with that. I definitely agree we're a fourth
you
quarter
see,
team.
if for nothing, Amara, if for nothing, exactly, if for nothing, he has beaten Budenholzer for his 5 seasons because we've had that issue of first quarter. We were leading Toronto Raptors during the 2020, right? We were no, sorry, 2019. We were leading Toronto Raptors during the playoffs. And guess what? It was the fourth quarter that they came back and they equalized and they won
No,
that game.
no, I definitely
That's
agree
how
that.
they took us off the
I
playoffs.
agree with you, Chitty, that we're a better fourth quarter team. I
So,
I
so
definitely
if
go
for
ahead, Mr.
nothing,
Smith. Hold on 1 second,
if
Chitty.
for nothing,
1 second, Chitty. 1 second. Go ahead, Mr.
if,
Smith.
okay, great,
Give me
okay,
two
great.
seconds, Chidi. Give me 2 seconds. I just wanted to address some of the guys who it seemed like they were talking to me in the chat. I feel like Daniel Joseph was screaming on me. Like this dude put it in all caps. Mr. Smith, would you put Beasley on Jason Tater Tot? Like he's barking on me saying that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Sal Kelly said I'm tripping. All right, look. Here's how I feel about Beasley's defense because I was super critical of it in the beginning of the season. I am not saying that Beasley is out there looking like Drew Holiday
Or
or Alex
prime Avery
Caruso
Bradley or
or
something like that. We're not saying
no,
right.
no one's saying that. I don't.
Right.
So that I'm clear, right? I do think that on a scale of 1 to 10, he's still
He's 4 or 5.
he's about a 5 at
Yeah,
this point.
I agree with
But
that.
in the very beginning of the season, he was a 1. If that, he was terrible. There was some moments where he
What up,
looked
Saul Cali?
badly out of position. And what I'm seeing is I'm just trying to acknowledge the improvement and be positive about what it is I see. And also realize that if he continues to improve, because his shooting has been fantastic, then he's absolutely viable for what Griffin wants to do. But he's showing signs of improvement, which is giving me optimism. Is he a final product? No.
No, right.
But he's getting better. And if we're going to criticize, just so that it's even and fair, give people their props. That's all. Again, and again, that's my statement to the people who will say, "Oh, you guys are being hypercritical, or whatever." Like I think we're being fair. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And we'll give people their props when they play well. I
And then when
think
you don't
Beasley
play
on
well,
deep,
we got to talk about it. I just don't. Yeah,
of course,
absolutely. Like,
of
I don't
course.
know
So I
about
mean,
y'all. I got
Beasley,
a question for y'all. What is with Lopez and the rebound? It's very frustrating. I don't understand how he's 7 feet and gets 2 rebounds. I know he blocks shots. I know he does a lot of good things, but he's part of the reason, respectfully, that other teams are getting so many offensive rebounds. He can't jump, and I just don't know what that's about. Can y'all explain to me why
I
that's
can
happening?
give you what I see. I can give you what I'm seeing, right? I do think that again, and I'm saying this on the heels of saying that Beasley just improved, right? But when you're able to penetrate into the paint as easily as you are against Milwaukee, then what they're asking Lopez to do at that point is to step up and offer the resistance that initial point of attack defender is not giving. If he's stepping up, then he's stepping away from the basket. If he's stepping away from the basket, either the person's hitting the shot over him or the person coming up behind him is getting that rebound. So again, it's the head of the snake thing. I've seen this in a couple of articles where a couple of different people have pointed this out, right? For the defense to work on any team, but particularly with this one, there has to be better resistance at that initial thing, at that initial point of attack, so that Lopez can hang back a little bit. Because if you're so easily beaten, now he's the free safety that has to come up and make the play on the wide receiver because the cornerback keeps losing him in coverage. Now he looks bad because he's the one that gets burnt. But if you're really watching the play broke down way before he gets there. I'm not saying that he's perfect.
Right.
I'm definitely feel like Brook
I'll
Lopez
say this:
needs to.
regardless of Beasley's defense, he's an upgrade from what's my boy that's playing for Phoenix now, Grayson Allen. I
Grayson
think he's
Allen,
more. Yeah, I think he's more consistent offensively right now.
Okay, offensively,
Defensively,
yes, yes.
I think he
Offensively,
gives
yes.
us more consistency offensively than Grayson Allen. Not we lose, we take a step back defensively, but I think offensively, he's way more consistent than Grayson already this far in the
And
season.
I feel like I'm also trying to be a realist as far as our trade potential is concerned, right? Because we realistically don't
One
have
second, Mr.
the
Smith. Just me interject 1 second here. Eliza, yes, please stop talking about Marcus Smart. I agree with you, Eliza. We don't need Marcus Smart on this team. We just need to tighten up a few things. We could keep this exact same roster, maybe get a big man, an athletic big. I wouldn't mind, but I don't think we need Marcus Smart at all. I understand the on the ball defender, but we don't need that. We just need to understand the defense we play and execute. If we're able to execute, we'll be fine. There's no need for Marcus Smart. I understand the sentiment. I get the mentality. oh, he be on the ball defender like Drew, blah blah blah. I get it, but we actually don't need Marcus Smart. We just need to execute in our offense, our defense, and we'll be fine. We just need to tighten up on defense just a little bit. Maybe, like I said, do stay in the 2-3 zone a little longer, and we'll be fine. But we don't need another like that type of personality on this team, in my opinion. I just wanted to address that real quick.
I don't know that we could get
But
him even if we wanted him.
sorry, I can't be very petite about what Boston did in acquiring Drew Holiday. I would want to get that Marcus Smart to get back at Boston Celtics. I want to do that in a heartbeat. I want to rub it over Boston's face. You know, I just want to be that petite. Come trade deadline. I want to get that Marcus Smart guy. If for nothing, maybe nah, bro.
He get too much money
The
though,
Celtics have
Chitty.
been,
We can't afford him, bro.
We can't afford him. He get too much money.
bro.
There's a gang of
If
people that are
it
getting
means
mentioned, we can't afford him.
if it means we have to go over the market cap, I will do it in a heartbeat.
Shitty, you
Bruh,
are wild right now.
I can't follow you there, but salute.
Bro.
I can't follow you down that street, bro. But
Bro,
I mean,
you
salute.
wild, Shitty. We're already over the salary cap. Already over the salary.
Bro, we will still go over. We will still go over it. Over the over. If you acquire Marcus Smart, I'm that petite, man. Bro. Yo, the Celtics have really done a lot this season that I'm pretty sure if there's any move I want to make in terms of John Hurst doing a chess move,
what up, Cynthia?
He's getting that guy into Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Salute. Can I give somebody a salute that?
Go ahead.
So we salute the ladies of the chat very often. There's a couple of people who get shouted out. Pamela Machado, she gets shouted out as she should. Often Stacy gets shouted out as she should. I want to give a shout out to someone who comes in giving people the fire, right? Whether people agree with her or not, she comes in, she stands her ground. Eliza Schaefer, you need to jump on the chat one time.
Oh yeah, on the live, Eliza there. We shout out Eliza. We shout out Cynthia, salute. Patricia, Brenda. We shout out the whole squad. Sherelle, Janet, MOC squad.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people.
I respect. I respect that.
Yeah,
for real.
She'll say some stuff I'm not on agree with, but you stand your ground.
Eliza stand on business. Hey, what the young kids be saying? Eliza stand on business. Eliza be standing on business. Hey, y'all see Cynthia? She said get them likes up. Shout out to Cynthia. Thank you, ma'am. Get them likes up.
And for what it's worth, Chidi be having some off the wall stuff, but you stand your ground, bro.
He stand his ground steady. Yeah, Chitty stand on business. Chitty stand on business.
Fight the power, bro.
That's it. My man, go ahead, Chitty. Get it in, bro. Take these last 46 seconds. Go ahead, talk your business.
Bro, I still think we're on the right path. As I said,
absolutely.
The last game against Bulls. As I said, the last game against Bulls, I still said it. I said we're too harsh on Coach Griffin. Okay. If we remove sentiments out of it, we would see the improvement on the Milwaukee Bucks team. We might not win every game the way we want to win them, but guess what? The way we left the way we went out during the playoffs is very disappointing. Every team this season, after the playoffs, they've been timing us. It's like a thing of were we jazzed up that we didn't like know that these guys weren't that good last season, that they had the best record in the NBA. So they're actually coming and are poking the bear, like they're poking us saying, are you sure you guys are really real to have the best record in NBA? Like that's what's happening this season, even despite the fact that we changed coaches and changed some of the players on the team. But it was disappointing, the fashion and the way we gave up that playoff series. So to be honest, right? Every team is bringing their best for us. And the only way we'll beat them is not like, okay, we play teams, but we play against these teams and also against the refs. So one of the things we have to look out for is by this first quarter or first set of the regular season, right? When teams come so hard at us and we win these games, we'll gain back our respect. But it's one step at a time. I'm telling you, by the middle of the season, after All-Star break, I'm telling you, all these teams that are coming so wild and having close games with us, they will all fizzle out because guess what? They can't keep up. They can't keep up. But they have to. They are doing that now to be able to poke us to be sure that truly these guys, like, are you sure these guys are championship caliber, or they are really just playing with some juju or
I
some
agree,
black jazz
Cynthia.
or something? So again, I would say Milwaukee Bucks are getting that identity, that true respect that they deserve. And during the regular season, they're doing that. The playoffs, they're also going to do that. Even the NBA in-season tournament, they're also going to do that. I believe they are taking the NBA
I
in-season
can
tournament
appreciate
as
I can
playoffs.
appreciate Chitty's optimism here. I'm gonna let you tap in a minute, Mr. Smith, and rebuttal to that. Go finish your statement, though, Chitty. I want Mr. Smith to respond. Go ahead, Chitty.
Okay, great. So I feel that the NBA in-season, the Milwaukee Bucks are taking it as the playoffs. And they're about to use that to make a statement. And that's a great way to also make a statement for the new season. Immediately after we make that huge statement during the NBA season tournament, then we'll go over to the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, we'll go over to the playoffs. In the playoffs, we'll make another huge statement again. By then, the teams will already see the way they play Denver Nuggets is not the way they play
Hold
the
on, Chitty.
Milwaukee
Let me just
Bucks.
let me
The
just
way
say
they
this
play,
super chat, Chitty. 1 second. Let me get super chat.
yes.
What up, Nick? What's going on, ma'am? Nick Swin 10 with the 199 super chat said link, please. Let's go. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now, Nick. Shout out to you. All right, go ahead, Chitty.
Yes, so the way they play the Milwaukee Bucks is not the same way they play the Denver Nuggets. It's not it's not even the same way they play what's this guys
Okay, so
the
you
Suns.
say so what you're
So
saying though, Chitties, we're heading in the right direction. You're not concerned. You're seeing the upside of this team, and you think once we get after All-Star break, we'll see this team in its best form. Is what you're saying, Chitty, right?
yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying, and I'm
Okay.
also saying,
Mm-hmm.
saying that we need to give this coach some time to prove himself. Like he hasn't proven himself to the point of
I
I
see you,
mean
Daniel Joseph. Give me a
sometimes to prove
second here.
himself.
Uh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean sometimes to prove I
Okay.
mean sometimes to prove himself to the point of understanding that he's got this. Yes, first time head coach, but he's got this.
Okay.
Or
I'm
the
gonna hold
things
you
he's
right
doing,
there,
the
Chitty.
changes he's
I'm gonna hold
doing.
you right there. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. What you think?
I would, for me, for this team right now, like I said, I'm impressed by what it is I saw tonight. I was disgusted with what it is I saw from Chicago, right? And so I know that the Chicago game is not who they are. That was an anomaly, right? But the more of those we
Mhm.
work out of our system and the more consistency we get, the happier I'll be, right? We are still working with relatively newer elements, right? And so give them an opportunity to cook. If they're showing you product or if they're showing you progress, right? And so, like I said, I do want to make the effort to give the salute to the people who I do think are playing better than they were before, even
Well,
if they are not
1 second, Mr. Smith.
final
Finish
product.
your statement. 1 second. Nick and Daniel Joseph, I'm gonna tap y'all in 1 second. Let Mr. Smith finish his statement. Then I'm gonna tap both of y'all in. Just give me a second. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Finish your complete statement. Go.
You know what I mean? Which is why I said I wanted to go the extra mile and give Beasley his props, right? But
Mm-hmm.
for the people who don't feel like, I don't care what Beasley did in these last couple of games, he's cheeks or whatever. Let's get rid of him. Fair enough. Who do you realistically think we can get that would
Right.
be an improvement, right? Because there are a lot of guys that are being mentioned. I just don't see it. Now, mind you, I've learned to not doubt John Horst because this dude gets it done. I think every time he walks in a room, like I said, the Godfather should just start playing. This little man is not a little man. He is
Right.
dangerous when it comes to making these moves work. But realistically,
True.
the assets that we have now that you think
Mm-hmm.
another team will want, because for a trade to happen, two or more teams have to also want it. So
Mm-hmm.
what assets do we have, do you think, that another team will want that will make us better overall? And is it worth it to just kind of work with what it is we
Right.
have
That's what
and
I'm
let
saying.
them?
And let them build
So
chemistry
Sal
and grow
Kelly,
together.
who
Right.
said so Sal Kelly, who said, Smith, we can make a trade. We have some good assets. Like what? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying maybe that, make that a conversation point. If you really think that, all right, look, we definitely need to make a move, then who do you realistically think we can make the move for?
Right.
Because I'd like to see that. Marcus Smart is not realistic for the
No,
people who
that's
keep
not.
going on about that.
No,
That's
it's
not
All
not.
right.
realistic.
All right. Hey, y'all, give me a
You know
second.
what I'm
Let me
saying?
tap both of them in. I'm going to tap y'all back in a minute. Just give me a couple minutes. Let me talk to Nick and Daniel. Holler at y'all. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all tapping in and dropping gems as usual. Mr. Smith, tap back in shortly. You too, Chitty. Let me just get through everybody.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all, we should be getting
Okay.
extra
Thank you,
likes in here.
Amara.
Don't y'all see the passion with Mr. Smith and Chitty about this team? If y'all don't hit this like button for this type of. Hey, don't y'all get these conversations as intense?
They
If
don't
y'all
like
don't
me.
hit this like button, hey,
They don't like
salute.
me.
Hey, this is what we do here. Salute.
They don't like me. They
No,
don't like
hey,
me. Maybe
hey,
I need to.
hey, you my boy. Hey, no. We not doing that, Mr. Smith. You know
They
you
don't
my
like me.
guy. All right, tap back in. You got the kombucha over there cracking. That's one of my favorite flavors. Let's go. All right, I'll holler at y'all
Yeah,
in
yeah,
one
yeah.
second. Let me tap them in. All right, Chitty. All right,
All
Mr.
right.
Smith. I'll tap y'all back in a minute. All right, shout
All
out
right.
to
All
y'all.
right, bro.
My
Yeah.
man. All right. All right, Nick, I'm tapping you in, man. You guessed one. I'm tapping my boy Daniel Joseph. You guessed two.
We can
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
move.
yeah. Hey,
Then who do
Daniel, I
you
can only see the
realistically think
do-rag,
we can
fam.
make the move?
Da-
Right. Because I like to see that.
hold on. Hey, he
Marcus
watching
Smart
the
is not
live.
realistic.
Hey, you got to
No,
turn the
it's not.
live off, fam.
No,
That's
it's
Hey,
not
not.
realistic.
all
All right.
right.
Hey, y'all, give me a
You know
second.
what
Let
I'm
me
saying?
tap both of them in. I'm
Hey,
gonna
you
tap
on
y'all
right
back
now,
in a
fam.
minute.
Turn the
Just give me a
volume
couple
down,
minutes. Let me
fam.
talk to Nick and
You
Daniel.
got to turn the
Holler at
volume
y'all.
down.
Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all
My
tapping
man.
in and dropping.
Hey, Dan, you got to turn the volume down. Can you hear us now, fam? Can you hear? You. Daniel, can you hear us? Let me give him a second. Fam, can you good? Can you hear us? All we can do is see. Hey, somebody said something to the chat to Daniel to tell him to turn down the live. It's actually happening right now. I'll try to wait for you, bro. All right. Hey, you gonna have to tap back in, Daniel. Can you hear me, bro? All right, I'm gonna have to tap you back in, fam. All right, here we go. All right, what up, Nick? Hey, Dan, you
Let's
gotta tap back in. You
go.
can't have the live
Listen.
on and then trying to join the live at the same time because there's gonna be a delay. All right.
Right.
All right,
I
I'm
just
gonna
want to
tap you
say,
in 1 second, Daniel. Let me let Nick get it off. I'm gonna add you to the three cans, but make sure you straight. Go ahead, Nick. Talk your business.
let's go. Let's go. You know, in the first quarter, I said the first thing I was looking at, I said, I'm gonna see them legs is moving, right? I'm like, let's get these legs.
Yo,
And
wait. Hey, she said she wanted to see if their legs was moving. That sounds super wild.
yes, yes, I was seeing their legs was moving. I was like, here we go. Let's game time, jump on. They was moving. They was actually going head up, going, just balancing it out. So they started good, and I just want to shout. I ain't trying to be analytical or technical. I just want to say let's go. We did good. We not just criticizing all the
All
time, but
right.
when they
Hey.
do good, they do good. And they came back at the fourth like
All
they
right.
always
Hey,
do.
Nick Dental game on point. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. Go ahead. Nick Dental game on point. She out there to fight one. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. Hey, I'm gonna tap
They
y'all in a
always
minute. Go ahead,
they
Nick.
always do. They had my heart pumping. They had it going back. I was on that emotional roller coaster for a minute, but it came. Everything worked out. It ironed itself out. But like I said, I just want to say, let's go. I'm not about to say who trade or whatever. I just want to say they did a good, god darn job.
Appreciate that. Hold on 1 second, Nick. Let me get this super chat off. What up, Lil Rob?
Mhm.
Appreciate the $10 super chat. It said best Bucks pod. Thanks y'all for this fun space. Appreciate you, bro, tapping in. Salute to Lil Rob. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Nick. Get your statements off, man.
Well, we always we kind of. I felt bad because we kind of got at them with the Bulls the other day. Uh,
Right? We did. Yeah, we did. It was
yeah,
needed.
yeah. You was throwing monitors and keyboards and stuff. I I
I was
I was
tired.
just like, you know what? Okay, that's over with. And I'm with Mr. Smith. I'll be honest with you. I usually get excited. I have my popcorn.
All right.
I have everything ready in my living room. I have my little TV ready. My son's 5. I'd be like, shh, slow down. I wasn't really enthused at first.
All right.
I'm like it kind of took the wind out of me. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at it and see how they do and see how the first quarter. Um, Mara always talking
Yeah.
about
If we come out good in the first quarter, I feel pretty good in the game. You know what I'm saying? If we come out in
right.
that
I'm
first
like
quarter.
he always talking about at the end. So I was like, well, let's see how it goes, and it went well. It went well, extremely well. They balanced. They were back and forth, close all through the
Mm-hmm.
game, and then of course the fourth we actually separated ourselves, and we made it happen. So that's basically what I want to do. And to the question, um, I believe Daniel. I don't know who was that. Okay,
Or two.
I, what was his name? Is it say his name? Not Mr. Smith, the one you were on there before. Is it?
Chitty.
See, I don't.
Chitty. Chitty.
It's
Chitty.
shitty
Yeah.
because I was saying something else at first, so I
That's
didn't.
all good. We all good. She go. Go ahead, Nick. You go. Go.
Cause he was on that today. I'm gonna tell you that with all that crap he talking about. Excuse me,
Right. It's
cheating.
all good.
Sorry,
What up,
cheating.
Janet?
Sorry, but he was on that shit today.
Right.
But
He
he all
was.
right though. He always good though. He
Uh,
makes me laugh. But to the question, no, I to like they were saying is someone else who can they trade. Um, I honestly I rather just see them work with what they have.
Facts.
Um, like you guys said, it's expensive. They are expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and right now which team gonna want what?
Right.
Out of
We
us,
need
they
to just
like
let this ride for a minute. We need to let this
correct.
ride for a minute.
Like who we got? Who they really want? What the other
Right.
team gonna really want? They can't get Giannis. No, can't get Dang.
Right. Eh,
So Brooke,
right.
who they really want here? Connaughton?
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
lover
but
boy
who
there?
gonna want Connaughton though is the real question. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
who gonna want lover boy. Who want lover boy there? Who gonna want him? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. He hot when he
Hey,
hot,
hey,
and he
Nick
not
is
when he not.
wild. Shout out to Nick. We need that energy on the pod. Shout out. Hey, representing for the queens of the chat out here. Hey, y'all
Hey
need to be
Queen,
tapping in.
hey
Hey, y'all
Queen,
seeing Nick? Hey, you seeing Nick tapped in two lines in a row? What y'all doing out
hey
there, ladies?
Queen.
Hey, come on. Hey, shout out to Nick. Hey, Nick, let me tap Brandon in, but tap back in it a little bit. We need that energy. Tap back in for the homie Nick. All right, bye, Nick. Bye. Hey, Daniel Joseph. Hey, you gotta tap back in, bro, but you gotta turn off the live, fam, when you tap in because of the delay. So by the time I'm talking to you, you still watching the live, fam. So tap back in. Hold on. I gotta tap back in our boy here. Hold on, Brandon. I'm tapping in Gibson. Hold on. I gotta have both y'all on at the same time. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Before I get started. Hey, we got Brandon. We got Gibson. Two Hall of Famers in the chat. I'm gonna give you the floor first, Brandon, and then I'm gonna let. Before we get started, though, come on, Gibson, man. Come on, man.
Peace and love to Bucks Nation in the chat.
Yeah, there we
Peace
go.
and
There
love.
we go. Brandon, tell me how you felt about the game today, fam.
You know what? I'm gonna let Gibson start out first.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Gibson. Go ahead. So respect. See that? Hey, this is friends
All
and
right.
family here. Friends. Oh, did y'all see the new one? I had the new Bucks
Oh
card
man,
on
that's
today.
dope. That look
Hey,
dope. That
hey,
look dope.
hey, I'm
Hey,
all in
boy,
on this team. I'm
that's
all
hard,
in on
bro.
this squad, y'all. Hey. Hey, we we
All
we
right.
good. We just talk. Hey, we're just giving constructive criticism, y'all. We definitely believe this team gonna win a championship. We're just giving constructive criticism for it to be an easier path to winning a championship. That's all I'm saying. It's on you, Gibson. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I love what I see from the Bucks tonight. They played amazing. They played awesome. They play very great. They come up with that energy and urgency. They make sure Atlanta didn't give them too much trouble. I like that, what I see from them. Now, the only thing I'm still waiting on, and I can say it again, the Bucks Nation, the only thing I'm still waiting on is when are we getting that next coach? That's all I'm worrying
The
about. I
Be
leave it to
clear,
Brandon.
assistant coach. We gotta say assistant coach, so we don't
Right,
cause
the
no
assistant
confusion
coach.
in the chat. The lead assistant coach is what Gibson is saying.
Right,
So I don't want no uproar in the chat. We got to be specific. Assistant coach, lead assistant
right.
coach. Go ahead, Gibson.
I that's all I waiting on. Everything doing great. They came out with a chip on their shoulder after that
Facts.
loss to the Bulls. They came out with urgency to play with more energy, with more pace. I like that. I like that from the team. I ain't have much to say. I transfer the floor to Brandon. That's all. I ain't got much to say tonight.
Yeah, look at it. Okay, all right. Go ahead, Brandon. Tell me how you feeling, bro.
Hey, it's a good win because we, all that myself, what we saying last night, that's over now. We passed that. We passed it. We're ready for the next one
Right.
because
Facts.
we got Nick coming up.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
playing in the in season tourney. So yeah, that's gonna be a big game for us.
Also, hey, a lot of people gonna watch that Packer game tomorrow. Packer game tomorrow night,
Mm.
Sunday.
Okay.
So because that's a big game right there.
Right.
We
No, that's fair. That's fair.
okay. I'm gonna give y'all two updates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Packers have 52 chances of making the playoffs this year.
Okay, 52%. Okay.
Because if we beat Kansas tomorrow night at home, then we move up
Okay.
the wild card.
Look at hey, I thought the Packers was done. I thought the
Yeah,
Packers was literally done. So that's
but
cool. That's
fight,
definitely good to hear. Mm-hmm.
the Viking guard, Dallas beat the Viking, and the Bears guard the other night.
So we moving up there. Okay.
Yeah. Also, okay, I'm glad we won back in the win column.
And
But
tell me what you felt about how Chris Middleton played early. I thought he helped set the tone in this game by coming out on fire. Him and Bobby Portis, I felt like they really helped set the tone in the first quarter, and I thought it was really good to see Bobby P have a bounce back game. He needed
yeah,
that. He's been struggling for the last few games, so I was really happy to see Bobby P play well. The team in general played well offensively. And did they played very well defensively in the fourth quarter. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's our best quarter of any game is always going to be the fourth. We held them to 23 points in the fourth quarter, which was very impressive, and how we were able to pull away at the end. That's the type of stuff I want to see from the Bucks, where we're getting stops, we're scoring, and we're creating distance at the end. That game was nip and tuck the whole way through until the last 4 or 5 minutes. The Bucks put their foot on the gas, and that was good to see. And again, this Hawks team is not a slouch. This is a playoff caliber team. So we're getting battle tested early in the season. So it's good to see us being able to persevere through adversity and terrible officiating. That officiating today was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And for us
one
to
thing,
keep our calm, nobody get a technical, and then I do want to say I wish Griffin would have challenged one or two of those calls just to put the referees on notice. I felt a way about that. A couple of those calls were so egregious. I was like, come on, Griff, you gotta throw something out there to just so make the refs think about it a little bit, because that whole officiating crew was anti the Bucks. How does Dame Lillard only get 2 free throws? That doesn't even make sense. How is that
That
possible?
I
is suspect.
okay,
It looks
Very
suspect to me.
suspect officiating. Suspect.
I think the whole rep this season, the rep has been horrible for the whole different team.
Oh, that's a
Because
great stat. 18. We went 18-7 run in the final 5 minutes tonight. There we go. Shout out to Got a Plan Stan.
every time, every time we play different team, we don't get no foul call at home or away.
Right. It don't matter. We don't never get no calls. Right.
No, we gotta
But
play like we gotta beat the ref on the game. We
That's
gotta
what
play the
that's what
ref
I
on the game.
always say, man.
I think once Giannis, when Giannis started to go walk, dropping everybody, the league is scary. The league in trouble.
Like, but
Because
like somebody was saying earlier, and like Chitty was saying earlier, and I think there is some validity to that. That we got to get his team maybe to All-Star break to really see what they are, and then after All-Star break, I think that we should see an improvement where you've got enough games within the system. Everybody should kind of feel comfortable with one another. So I feel like when Chitty said that, that was a valid comment. And if you kind of take the emotion out of it, that I can understand the sentiment in that. You don't want to get rid of a coach this early in the season when he's still trying to implement his system and trying to figure it out. But we should, at minimum, start to see some improvement by All-Star break. That's another 2 months. We should really start to see what this team is going to turn into by that time, and then we should see execution after the halfway point, which is the other part of the All-Star game. So we're gonna see. So I'm excited. I'm glad we're winning games. Hey y'all, we're beating good teams. We might be losing to trash teams every once in a while, but we're beating quality opponents. We're beating the teams that are making the playoffs. We're beating those teams. So we're clearly a talented team. We're clearly offensively gifted in a way that we've never been in the past. It's just we need to tighten up on defense. Once we get the defense under control, it should be lights out, in my opinion. That's just really how I feel. The defense come together, we're good. I also would like to point out too that I did see more effort today on pick and rolls and Giannis screening today to get Dame open. And if you saw that when the pick and roll was being used, Giannis was running free to the cup every time because there was two people coming out on Dame, especially after he hit that logo three. They're like, "Oh, we forgot," and then they started coming back and where they was pretty much checking him at half. And then when they would get to the pick and roll, Giannis would dive to the hoop, and he was getting all types of buckets. That's how he was really getting those assists off of drop-off passes. So if we can start to really emphasize this pick and roll, understand how to utilize it, it should be money every time. We should be able to use Middleton and Dame in the pick and roll, Dame and Giannis, Dame and Brook. We should really start to utilize this pick and roll as a real weapon. I think that's what I got, man. Go ahead, Brandon. What was you saying, bro? And then you, Gibson, and then I'm gonna get into the comment section.
I think what I agree with Diddy and Mr.
Smith. Yeah.
I think we should not make no more move. We have to wait it. Let them figure that out on their own. And it,
No, I'm with it. I'm with you on that. I definitely agree. What's your last thoughts, Gibson?
The only thing I would like to see right now, but the Bucks organization have to put in a system like how Golden State is develop their young players more. We need to develop our young guys more.
I can salute that.
That's all.
Respect. I respect that. And then before you hop out of here, Gibson, please give it to the people, sir.
Peace and love to Bucks Nation in the chat. Peace and love to the best chat in on YouTube. Peace.
My man, all right. Hey, you got Gibson, you gotta know as soon as you come online, the people gonna want that from you, bro. We need that
Peace and
from you,
love.
Gibson.
Peace and
All
love. Peace
right,
and love.
all right,
Peace
my
and
man
love.
Brandon Gibson. All right, y'all go.
Peace. Peace.
Peace. My man, my man. Let's get to this comment section. Shout out to my boys right there. Five said, love the win. Campaign balled out today. Yeah, he did. Janet MOC, what's good? I'm going to need Lopez to protect the rim. I felt the Hawks has a shooter around while the Bucks watch. Yeah, he was just kind of watching, boxing out. It was some weird behavior. I agree. Shout out to King Keys too. I saw your message earlier, bro. And my boy James Woods. We was just chopping it up, texting too. Shout out to you, bro. Josh James, what's good? Hate to say it, but any guard that can hit a teardrop can sniff 30 against us on any given night. That's valid. That's valid. I'm about to tap you back in, sir. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me tap you back in. Mr. Smith, let's talk about it. How you feeling? How you feel about the last couple comments? Let me get a little Mr. Smith to tap in here. While you getting yourself together, let me read off some of these comments. D. Gibbs said, "What's good, Bucks Nation? Good win tonight. Now let's take care of business on Tuesday, and I will be in attendance for in-season tournament." Okay, D. Gibbs, salute. I'm planning on being there myself. Daniel Joseph said, "No, the offense is defense. No, that's not gonna get it done because if we have teams catching fire because we can't stop there and wait for it, what if we get cold and they don't?" Valid point. Valid point. We gonna tighten up, but we not gonna go cold, bro. It's gonna always be somebody yoga flaming on this team. That's what make this team hard to beat. We got some historic scorers on this team, and we got some people that can catch fire at any time, like a Middleton, Lopez, Bobby P. This team is stacked. We just gotta learn how to play some adequate defense. Like I said, maybe an athletic big would help. That would really help, in my opinion. Shout out to you, Daniel Joseph. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Would you say something? I don't even know if he can hear me. Let me let him tap in a minute. Hey, Mr. Smith, can you hear me? He might be stuck. Hold on. Let me give him a second. Let me get these comments off. You good, Mr. Smith? Hold on. I don't know if he hear me. Let me give him a second, y'all. What up, Pam? Pam says since the Bucks went back to Brook and drop coverage, they have a 12-4 record, second in the NBA, 119. Okay. 114 defensive rating, 12 plus 5. Okay. Pam coming with the stat. Hey, I respect it, Pam. I just don't like the way it looks. The visually, Pam, is a problem. The way it looks visually is a problem. Hey, got a plan stand. I agree. Pam dropping the knowledge. Love those stats. Right. Hey, Pam come in with the receipts. The receipts. He gotta hop off. All right, he might gotta hop off. Yeah, all right. Mr. Smith gotta hop off. All right, Mr. Smith, you can tap back in. Let me know, bro. What up, Jeff? Jeff said if they play it right and play like they should play, they should have an 11-game winning streak. Okay, with the schedule, I know why you said that. That's a valid point. That's a valid point, Jeff. Shout out to you. Got a plan stand said, that's still wild that we only played 4 games without playing drop. It felt like it was forever because it was so painful to watch. Yeah, I'm not against it, but it has to be played a little differently. I don't think Brooks should be dropping below the restricted area under the hoop. That's my problem. He shouldn't be dropping that low. All right, I'm going to tap you back in, Mr. Smith. All right, can you hear me, Mr. Smith? Okay.
I can. I think the same thing that happened to
Daniel Joseph.
Daniel Joseph
That delay. Yeah. It's all good. Hey, he back in it. He back in this thing. Let me just get a couple of these comments off, and then you right to it. Hold on. Let me get a little Rob comment off here. Little Rob said, "Never thought I would say this, but I'm kind of excited for this in-season game on Tuesday with New York because it means something now. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to show like what's going on now. We kind of in the hunt. So yeah, I'm with you, Little Rob. I'm with you. Let me see here. All right, let me see. Pass said defense is part effort, part knowledge, and part athleticism. No excuse to not be at least decent at one of those 3. Okay, Pass. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Tell me how you feeling on Mr. Smith. I'm just getting at these comments off. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
So I was reading some of the
Comments, yeah.
chat. I don't know the comment, yeah, and about trade aspects, and I saw Chris Middleton's name come up. Look, let me tell y'all something. And again, I'm not trying to beat anyone over the head with that with opinions. Everyone has a right to their opinion, right? But I know Chris at times has looked a little rough, right? But what you have in Chris Middleton is someone who fits perfectly with the very big gravity type players that Giannis and Dame are because he fits seamlessly around those guys. He can find his offense without having to demand his offense. You see
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
fair point. That's a fair point with
And,
Miggy. Yep.
and he's a facilitator. You never give up facilitators. You just don't do it. You can't have enough of those guys. You know what I mean? Like if you were like soccer fans or whatever, your facilitator is like your midfielder.
Right.
If you don't have a team that can
Shout
put
out for that
or players
analogy.
that can put everybody in position, your team is going to suffer, right?
Facts.
He is a excellent facilitator. So we right now have the luxury of having multiple players. We haven't necessarily seen it full blown because the season itself is still young. And then, of course, he had his Achilles tightness. Then, of course, he also has this minutes restriction. I, for one, will be happy when that minutes restriction nonsense is over. But if it's necessary at this point, then we still got to keep doing it. But the facilitators can't give those dudes up. You can't. You're going to need their intelligence. Look at last year in the playoffs, right? It wasn't Chris Middleton that was letting us down. There were a lot of other players who were letting us down. Chris Middleton was actually one of the few guys who stood up and was accounted for in
Playoff
that series
Middleton.
where we got bounced 4-1. Exactly. That's the
Playoff
kind of stuff
Middleton.
that you
That's a thing. I will
you feel
always
me?
give him that. Playoff Middleton is definitely a thing. Middleton definitely plays better in the playoffs. I would definitely say
That's what
that.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, if you're gonna give somebody like that up, you better make sure that you are getting something back in return
Of
that
equal
is
value or
comparable.
greater. Yep.
And I just don't see how you do that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these trades, to me, honestly, is just we're just playing fantasy basketball because I don't see how you legitimately A, make it happen, or B, get you're recompensated equally. I think you take a step back. The only thing that you'll get is youth. Youth is definitely
An asset.
something that you want to have for sure. But just being young doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be good right now. I love Marjan, the fact that he has a high ceiling, but right now Marjan has to do a lot of work to see that high ceiling. So if we were
Correct.
just getting a player like that,
That's
you're
not
not going to
worth
be
it.
better in the immediate here and now
Right.
because Marjan needs a lot of work right now. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't think you trade him. You
Right.
for sure don't trade Ajax. And that to me is what a lot of teams are going to be looking for. I
They're
think a
all.
lot of teams.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Miss Smith. I know for sure that when any trade with the Bucks, they gonna want Marjan or Ajax because those are the real young players at upside. Everybody else is 30 plus. Why would they want to trade for that unless they're maybe looking for a
Exactly.
veteran or in a championship hunt? And we're not
How
giving up
much money
Marjan
is
or
Chris Middleton
Ajax
making?
whatsoever. And then Pat Connaughton currently has zero value. He probably got negative value at this point.
so so I'm saying like the players that would have value in the trade. There's no way that the Bucks are letting those guys go. There's no way they're letting Bobby Portis go. You can forget it, right?
Right.
There's no way that they're gonna let any of the young guys go. Forget, or
This
I
is the
would be
team.
shocked.
This is the team for the most part. This is the team. At best case, we get some type of big man that gets bought out before the All-Star break or something like that. That's it. That's our best case scenario. Being realistic, if we're being real, that's our best case scenario. That a big man, athletic big man, gets bought out his contract, becomes a free agent. We able to sign them for the vet minimum. That is our best case scenario at this time for any true improvement on this team. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? So
And in that regard, I remember before the season started, I think a lot of people were looking at Reggie. Brother came over from the Mavericks. Reggie,
what Theus?
is
No,
that his? Not
no.
Reggie Theus.
Bullock. My bad. Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Theus, my father's age, right? Reggie
right.
Bullock.
Right.
Reggie Bullock. Okay.
Right.
Reggie Bullock went to a team that's not really playing him right now. So I
Right.
mean, it would be players like that who get
Right.
bought out of their contracts, who went over to a team, thought that they were going to contribute, and haven't been able to crack uh, their rotation. Those are the players that are going to look at the head office and say, "Look, I'm not as young as I used to be. Clearly, you guys don't really have use for me.
Right.
Buy me out." You know what I mean? And let's do that. And then you get someone like that. As far as trade, I don't see it. I've been wrong before though, because I was on rec and came on this chat and said we're not going to get Dame. And I mean maybe 2-3 days later, we got named. So I've definitely been wrong before. I mean, it couldn't have been worse timing. I literally said that like 3 days before it happened,
I remember
and
that.
then was sitting, jumping up and down, just like everybody else, but wondering how he did it. That's why I said I don't. John Horst is the closer. That dude needs his own
Right, he called him
show on.
right. Ray, he Ray Donovan. He Ray Donovan,
Yeah,
man. He be working in the
I'm,
shadow, get putting things together. He like Ray Donovan out there, a horse.
I'm telling you, he's telling people, he's calling other GMs and saying, "Look, I have a set of skills that have." Like he starts his conversations off like that. I know he looks like a little guy. He's serious business. He stands on it. He's serious business.
He
I don't
does
want to deal
stand
with it.
on it.
I don't. You. He figures it out. That's what I'm saying. He needs his own show on Netflix. So
And
I
we
don't
don't
doubt
know.
that.
He might pull something, but I honestly don't think we need a lot though, Mr. Smith. All I would want is an athletic big. That's what I want for Christmas for the Bucks. An athletic big. That's all I would want. I don't think we
See,
really need anything else. And we gotta remember,
and
we don't got Jay Crowder right now either, y'all. So let's not forget about that either. That's another kind of 3-and-D wing defender. Let me get this super chat, Mr. Smith. Hold your thought for 1 second. Let me get this super chat. Nick, what up? Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to Griffin. Jumping and running on the sideline help motivate the team. I did see that. He did look a little bit more engaged today. Shout out to you, Nick. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Yeah, he did look a little bit more engaged than usual. I definitely agree with that.
so so for you, it would be an athletic big. I can hear that. For me, I feel like I kind of feel like how I do in football, right? That you build your offense or your defense from like your lines, like your offensive line, your defensive line, and build backwards. For me, that's how I would do it. In basketball, like you build from your perimeter and then
Right.
inward. I feel that way. I could be wrong. I do think you still have value with Brooke Lopez, and I think that if you get someone who may not even necessarily supplant Beasley in the lineup, because I actually, like I said, I'm giving him his props. He is starting to play better. He's not Gary Payton out there, no, but
No.
he is starting to play better. He may surprise people by the end of the season and actually be viable for all 4 quarters. And then if you combine that, if he could just get to be a 6 or a 7 on defense, which may be asking a lot, right? But
Right.
if you can get that with his shooting, I think he's good, because his shooting
It's
is
helping
like
us.
it's getting to the point now where I'm surprised when he doesn't make it in that corner. Like, you know what I mean? What they used to call that Pat's corner, that's like Beasley's corner.
Corner,
He's
right.
over there in the corner shooting threes. I'm more surprised when he doesn't make it. He gets hot.
Right.
That is an
I agree.
asset, right? And so, and I'm on record saying this dude is a joke on defense, and he's lazy. And get him out of here. And if he goes back to that, I'm definitely like, here, get him out of here.
Yeah, that's.
Because
I think we get fair criticism, Mr. Smith. If you play good,
yeah,
we give you your flowers. If you don't play well, we talk about it. And I feel that's just the way it is. You can't just sweep it under the rug. If somebody plays
yeah.
25 minutes and scores 2 points just because we won, no, we need to talk about this part. That needs to be addressed. Period.
Absolutely. So, like, for me, like, I've seen Pat get thrown around, right? Pat, see, my issue with Pat is that it seems to me, it in the 4th quarter, he looks good, definitely. There are some times when I don't know. Like I'll continue to I'll say Pat question mark, right? I'll continue to watch him through the year, because there are times when it just seems like the effort is there, and I've seen the stat where the plus minus when he's on the court and when he's not on the court. It's just that the length that he lacks can be troubling when we go up against teams like Boston, like, you know what I
Correct.
mean? Because ultimately that's who we would like to be able to say we're going to see at some point. When it comes to like these other small teams like Atlanta,
Right.
I'm not worried about them long run. I'm not. You know what I mean? These are teams that are going to beef up our regular season total.
Right.
But when it comes to the playoffs, who do we really expect to see in the playoffs? And can we beat them as is, with the team as is? It's Philly,
Boston,
Boston,
Miami.
uh,
You gotta
Miami.
respect. You
Exactly.
gotta respect Miami. Yeah.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course, of course. I think Miami could roll out dudes in college, and they would be incredible. I think personally, Eric Spoelstra is probably the best coach in basketball. So they're always going to be tough.
Right.
Always going to be tough, right? And they play hard nosed. They to me are like the Baltimore Ravens of basketball, right?
That's a
You
fair
like the
point.
football,
Right.
You like the football references. They're the Ravens of
Absolutely.
basketball. They just
That's a great one though for them because that's exactly how they just dogs. They some dogs.
every last one of them.
Yeah, they some dogs.
Every last one of them. You know what I mean? And the Celtics, to me, quite honestly, are whomever. I don't know. They're just tough. They're very tough. They're always tough against us, right? I don't want to say that they're the Chiefs because they haven't won the championship, but
Right.
it's just hard sledding. It's tough sledding to beat
Damn,
them.
Pam
And you have
dropping some
pretty
numbers.
much.
You see them stats that Pam dropping? Hold on, let me put Pam in here.
That was what I was talking about
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
The
that one in
Pam, yeah.
particular, talking about Pat. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen the plus minus with Pat. I just,
Okay.
I'll say to be continued with Pat.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. Question mark, right? Because again, what you see of the team now is not what I expect to see at the end of the year, right? It's not static. It's going to be fluid, and if so long as these guys are getting better, then to me you're buying time.
Right.
When you're not getting better, when you're going backwards and no one's seeing any progress, that's what's alarming, right? And so we'll see. We'll see. I am optimistic about Beasley. I can't believe I was going to say that about
Right.
his
Well, a
defense.
couple of weeks ago, we wanted this man
Oh
out of
God,
here.
yeah.
We was killing but maybe he heard the chatter and he bit down a little. I respect that though. You see, he's willing. He's trying. He's fighting at least. That's all I can ask you to do is that he's fighting.
That it could be mentality. It could be his overall fitness has just improved, right? It could be a conditioning thing. Like in the very beginning, you know how it is when you work out, you don't stretch out or whatever.
Right.
Those first couple of reps just trash, right? And then eventually you start getting warm, you start getting into it. Maybe it's that. Maybe his fitness is improved, but it seems like he's fighting. You know what I mean? But the noise about him was well beyond the chat.
Right. Yeah, right. It was in the public. Yeah. I mean, other analysts was talking about it. Right.
Exactly. The perimeter defense is the weakness of Milwaukee. That was the story, right? You know what I mean? And so I think he definitely had to have heard it. You know what I mean? Especially since he's, a lot of these younger guys, they stay on TikTok. They stay on TikTok. Excuse me. They stay on all these other social media platforms. If you're constantly hearing your name brought up as the reason that the Bucks haven't taken off after a while, it went for me. So maybe he's hearing it. Maybe they're just overall understanding what it is they're supposed to be doing. That's the other thing that hasn't really been mentioned a lot. It's not just that the Bucks are playing a style of defense where they're over helping, which I don't like, right? The Bucks are also switching a lot more. Switching definitely takes a lot of communication, and it's not something that we did a ton of in the previous regime.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And there are people who can get lost in the sauce when it comes to switching. This is a lot of times, honestly, this is where I feel like Marjan is going wrong. Like when you see him badly lost is when that communication isn't there and he switches. The times that I've seen him lost, it seems to be like that's what's happening.
No, I think that, and I think that's growing pains though too, Mr. Smith. I think that's growing pains with Beauchamp. But what I will say on his defense intensity, you can see the effort defensively for Marjan, that he's going to be a great on-ball defender in time when he starts getting respect from the refs. I think right now he doesn't have the respect for the refs, and I think they call a lot of ticky-tack fouls on Marjan as well defensively, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I think he gets a lot of, but it's, refs are human too. I can't believe I'm about to defend refs, but I think refs kind of get caught up in momentum as well, right? And so you see now that the Bucks have established this fourth quarter identity, look at how much calls we get in the fourth quarter that are somewhat questionable, but then they start falling on our favor because we've established ourselves as being really good in the fourth quarter. So the refs are like, well, they are good in the fourth quarter. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. These guys actually do play well in the fourth quarter. And that's what I mean. When you start establishing an identity where you're trash for the first three quarters, you're half assing it, right? Then the refs are not going to give you the benefit of the. It's almost like the football guys that Giannis was talking about, right? When you respect the game or whatever, the refs are not going to give you calls. They're not expecting you to play hard, and you're not playing hard, right? You go to the fourth quarter, you're playing a lot harder. Things are going well for you. You seem to be getting all the bounces. The shots are going in, and you're getting those ref calls. So if you are able to play with better effort in the first three quarters, maybe some of that stuff happens as well. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know
No,
what I mean?
that's
If you're
fair.
out there giving honest effort, you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. We saw it tonight. They just now need to start stringing this success. I
I
need to
just want to
see it
shout
over
out the
and over
Bucks
again.
and how hot they were offensively. I mean, we shot almost 60%, Mr. Smith. This
Yeah,
team is an
we were going toe
offensive
to toe.
juggernaut. This team is really an elite offensive team for real. They're elite. I mean, these
And I
dudes
was
can get
not.
buckets. These dudes really can get
And
buckets.
I'm telling you, it's because it's Chris Middleton finding offense in spaces when you need him. It's Dame going and being Dame in the fourth quarter. It's Giannis still finding a way to be dominant, right? It's Beasley shooting the lights out. I think he's still over 40%
Oh
at
yeah,
this point
absolutely.
from
Mm-hmm.
3 point line, right? It's Brook when you need him. It's Bobby Portis I think started off well tonight. I don't know how he ended up doing for the rest of the night. I have to look at the stats. But Bobby Portis can on any given night, when he wakes up, his offense was not a problem with
He's a
us. Because I
double
think
double
offense,
machine.
right,
Bobby P's a walking double double. I do wish that maybe Dame would maybe start to try to take over maybe in the mid third quarter instead of waiting until the fourth quarter with like 7 minutes left to start doing what he does. I would like to see maybe him be a little more aggressive coming out of halftime. I would from Dame. I felt like he had about, I don't know, 14 points going into the fourth quarter, then kind of went off from there. I would love to see. I know what he's doing, but it would be nice to see him engaged a little sooner. You know what I'm saying? And not have to
I
do
agree.
like this explosion all of a sudden in the fourth. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see some gradual progress to the explosion, and not just here we go. He's running now. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think when the pendulum is too far in the direction of like turning the switch on in the fourth quarter, the worst that can look like is the Chicago game where they
Right.
weren't playing
Exactly.
basketball at all, right? And so I think things are habit forming. You know what I mean? And I think when you get too much of a habit of saying that we're going to flip the switch at the end of the game and sprint out, when that gets out of hand is when you have games like Chicago where they're not going
Correct.
to play at all for the first three quarters. Like, you know what I mean? There has to be moderation with that. And so again, it's how do we find a way to conserve energy and still be effective? I think we saw some of that tonight. You know what I mean? Stay home defensively. Stay home on your 3 point shooters. It's a lot less energy taxing, right? Because you're not chasing people all over the place all the time. Not as much, and you're able to offer that initial resistance. Again, I'd have to go back and look, but it looked like they did a better job at staying home, right? And so it's
Right.
twofold. It's A, you're always going to offer that initial resistance, so you're not going to have to be 2 and 3 steps behind the ball when they start rotating the ball, when you go to double team and they're looking for the open shooter, right? And then B, it's you're conserving energy, and give a crap.
Right.
That too, right? You know what I mean? Start off
You
the
know
game
what, y'all?
caring
That
about
loss
it.
of the Bulls might have been exactly we needed to kind of wake us up, the punch in the mouth that we needed. I think
Yeah,
we needed that Bulls game, y'all, to play that bad. I think it woke up everybody. Beasley playing hard. Hey, Dame was playing hard on defense. If you ask me, watching Dame was fighting on defense, made a couple plays. I think they all were at least fighting. You can't stop somebody hitting a step back three or contested three, things like that. You can't stop that. But what I'm saying is the effort that you saw getting around screens, going under screen. I saw people fighting. That's all I can ask for. I know these ain't no defensive stalwarts. That's not their MO. But if I can see you putting in effort, that's all that we can really ask. That's it. I'm frustrated when I don't see you hustling or giving up or just letting
right.
somebody run past you. That's when we get upset. But if you fighting, and even
Facts.
if you foul sometimes, at least I know you trying. That's all Bucks Nation is asking. Put the effort for, and then let the cards fall where they may. That's it.
Because those things that happen for me too. I agree 1,000%. Those things that happen for me too. So when I see Brook Lopez sprinting, trying to sprint down the play, whether you make it or not, I'm standing up and I'm clapping. When I see the same thing for Bobby Portis trying to
Right.
sprint down the play, someone passed the ball and got a turnover. So now the other team has a free break, right? Rather than see people jog like in a way that you're not even going to come across the half court
You see what
line,
I'm saying?
you're
Right. I want to see
sprinting back.
sprinting. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
You're
That's what I'm
sprinting back.
saying. That makes
Exactly.
that makes a difference. And to the team where you see, oh man, he hustling. I need to hustle. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That becomes infectious when you see your teammates hustling. It's gonna make you want to hustle. I actually saw some people diving on the ball for loose balls, and I saw a lot more hustle from the team in general tonight. In
You took it
general.
personally.
They took it
You took
personally,
it personally.
absolutely. But that's what we wanted to
Exactly.
see. After that type of performance, losing against a bottom feeder, you should wake up and play better. I bet you they couldn't wait to play this game today. And you could tell in the first quarter, we scored 40 points in the first quarter. I know we gave up almost 40, but the point is we scored 42 points in the first quarter. That was setting the tone. Like, it ain't gonna be like the other game. Y'all gonna have to score 40 or more a quarter to beat us. They came out the gates cooking.
And Trae Young and DeJounte had to be like lights out mid range. So I mean, they weren't missing at all. And if
Right.
it's gonna be that, like if you guys are gonna make every single shot you throw up at the rim,
There's nothing we could do.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because again, they're fantastic
Right.
mid range shooters, right? So again, I don't think any defense is foolproof. I think
Right.
there are obviously better defenses than others. Uh, I definitely think that we could definitely use better perimeter defense. I do think we're getting better than we started the season like
Right.
doo-doo, right? And
Right.
I don't think we're that now. I think we're still the, but we're not as bad as we were before. And we are able to come up with key stops.
Right.
And in the fourth quarter, the
We
defense
locked down.
is superb. We are superb.
I
The
want to
fourth
address this
quarter.
question from Eliza real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Eliza and Pam, nobody was saying trade Middleton like that. We were saying if Middleton can't stay healthy and he has all these nicks and that, we might should consider trading him while still has some value. That's what we were saying, Eliza and Pam. We weren't just saying trade Middleton for no reason. It's if he's gonna continue to be nicked up, or if it looks like he lost like multiple steps, then that's something we can consider. But if he's going to be even maybe 80% of what he once was, then he definitely should be on this team for chemistry and facilitator. I just want to make that clear, and I think Mr. Smith shares the same sentiment. Would you agree with that, Mr. Smith?
For sure. I think the other game, I forget whether it was Portland or Miami. I can't remember, but Miami. It's Miami, because I remember the shot that he had in the quarter. That is exactly why Middleton stays on the team, right? Because it wasn't game
clutch.
cooking, right?
Middleton is clutch. His clutch. He got the clutch gene. You say what you want about Middleton, but Middleton got the clutch gene. I'm gonna say this, and y'all can call me crazy. I prefer Middleton to take a game-winning shot than I do LeBron if it's a jumper and not a layup. And y'all tell me I'm lying. Y'all tell me I'm lying. Who do you feel more confident in taking a jumper to win a game? LeBron James or Chris Middleton? Be honest with yourself. You know what the answer is. That's why Middleton needs to stay on this squad. I got the
I
stats
heard
too.
you go off on LeBron. I done heard you go off on LeBron. I don't know. I don't know about that, but I would say that
It's a fact.
I hear you. I would say though that that's exactly why you have him though, because if you notice, and this is again coming from the best coach in basketball, and Eric Spoelstra, what you saw in that Miami Heat game is not something that I saw from a lot of other teams, which was they were double teaming Dame as we were trying to inbound the ball. So they're saying, all right, well, Milwaukee, if everyone knows who Dame is in the clutch, and if you guys are going to start leaning into him like he is absolute Superman, then we're going to make everybody else beat us.
Right.
And what Milwaukee said was, okay, we do have a counterpunch to that, though, because we still have Chris Middleton.
Facts.
And
I will
when
say
Dame
that.
was
Yeah.
and when Dame was being double teamed on inbound plays, Chris started cooking, and it made that strategy less effective. I know what Chris can look like sometimes, right? I know that it can be rough. I know that he's one of the players that I yell at the TV about when it comes to not being engaged,
Right.
because he's not always going to come out like that. There are gonna be some times when, if we're playing like lesser opponents, Chris is going to have a turnover where he bounces the ball off
his
his
foot,
or
or just
something
lose
like
the
that,
ball in general.
because he just doesn't care. Like and there are times when he has those moments, and then there are times like that Miami game where that energy sustained us and made what would have been a good strategy against us useless. And that's what I'm saying. This was a team that went up against that same Miami Heat team in the playoffs last year, and that was the problem, because we were beating Miami in most of those games, if not all of those games.
They couldn't close
throughout the most of the game. And then the fourth quarter would come, and Jimmy Butler would leave the planet, and we didn't know what to do, right? And
now we have a counterpunch for that.
In the clutch.
Now we have a counterpunch.
Reverse.
Right.
We're the exact reverse, right? Come deal with us in the fourth quarter. Because thus far, no one has been able to do that. Boston included. They could not deal with us in the fourth quarter. Our problem is we gave up 1,000 points before that, right? And so, in those games,
I feel you with
we
that,
just
Janet.
couldn't make it the comeback. We couldn't come all the way back. It was the same thing against the Pacers. We couldn't come all the way back. But I think since then, I feel like you. I don't think any fourth quarter lead on us is really safe.
When it's really safe. It's not really safe.
26 points and you lost the game. 26 points. So I mean, I'm going to age myself here as if I haven't already done that. But years ago, when the Rockets had
it's season. It's not age. It's season. We're gonna use the term
exactly.
season.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I'm getting better. I've been 25 for a good while.
Wow. There you go.
25 and holding, right? We'll just leave it at that, right? But if you go back to that Houston Rockets team when they had Elijah Wan and Kenny Smith, particularly the second year that they won that championship, I remember watching them and I was like, are they bored? Because there'll be a lot of games where they would be losing at halftime and losing big. And then the second half would happen and it just seemed like it didn't matter. Like they would just kind of click on and then and then they would come back and win the game. I'm not like the biggest fan of that strategy because I think you could play with fire, but it is a good thing to have in your back pocket to know that this team is confident in the clutch, especially when compared to who we were last year, because we were absolutely not confident in the clutch. People were freezing. People didn't know what they wanted to do.
Shook. Right. Looking
they
shook.
They did. Absolutely. Yeah. Our commander-in-chief looked shook. Giannis didn't want to go to the free throw line. He's damn near passing the ball out of bounds because he's like, please, I don't want to go to the free throw line. Please don't foul me, right? Now we have weapons.
Salute, Mr. Cool.
And out of necessity, everyone is getting better at that. So it's not just Dame.
But I think the team in general is feeling that, you know what, if it's the fourth, we good. You can see it on the team. Like, everybody's not just our best players, but the players around them are willing to make play. Beasley making big shots. Campaign making big shots. It becomes infectious. Now, like, I believe this team totally believes, man, if it's the fourth, man, we got these, dude. If they only up 7 points, to me, we up 5 in my head. That's how I feel.
I think that's how they feel. Now, I don't want them to lean in that too much because then you get the Chicago games, right?
Correct.
So I don't want you to start only playing basketball in the third quarter. Salute Gibson. Please don't start just playing the basketball in the middle of the third quarter onward. That's not how you do it. What we need to do now, because there's always going to be a to-do list, right? You never want to get comfortable. Fix the first part of the game consistently.
Thank you.
Look good tonight. Continue in that direction. That's not a criticism. That's a salute to what they did tonight against a team that ran us out of the gym the first time they played.
Correct. Embarrassed us.
Right. Play like that. Continue to do this. Stack and get better. Just stack your success and get better. Stack it and get better, right? If we're going to use football analogies, right? We saw the potential for the Packer fans in here in the very beginning of Rashawn Gary. And he was just always maybe a step too short or a step too slow, but we saw the potential. And he kept working at it and working at it and working at it. And the Packers, to their credit, had the patience to stick with him. And now, to me, Rashawn is just as lethal as Za'Darius in these moments when we had Za'Darius. because we stayed with him and we developed that. Just we're
Food
there.
for thought,
I think
right?
you know what I'm saying. It now it could be that we have to, like I said, make a trade. That's on these guys because we know what your potential is. What would let me down is if you can't stack it. If it's going to be
Right.
inconsistent, if it's going to be one game you look like this, the next game you look like Chicago, or you look like Portland, where we having to come once again having to come back from 50 points behind or whatever. Yeah, that's going to put me off, and that's the stuff that should get you kicked off the team. But if you're going to stack success, then I'm interested to see what this version of the Bucks looks like.
So Cal, we
At the end
definitely
of it.
can beat the Celtics with this current roster. We can beat the Celtics. The Celtics have a starting five. They get in any foul trouble, they're done. They have an off game, they're done. You have to play perfect basketball to beat the Bucks. That's what I need y'all to understand, ladies and gentlemen. You're not just gonna walk in the building and beat the Bucks. You're gonna have to play perfect basketball for the most part. We are a top notch offensive team where we can get buckets at alarming rates fast. Fast. Yes, the Celtics have a good team, but I think our ceiling is higher than theirs. And they can't make any mistakes, you guys. You got to understand, the Celtics have no bench. If Jaylen Brown or Tatum or Kristaps get in foul trouble, it's going to be a real problem for them against us. They have to have their full assortment of players on board and playing A+ basketball to beat these Bucks. I'm telling y'all that to be true. And if they try to in a 7-game series, that's gonna be a lot. Them playing 40 minutes a game, they're gonna run out of gas. I'm telling y'all. I'm not worried about any of these teams. I just want us to tighten up on defense so we don't have to have any extended series. I don't want to see no 7-game series. None of that. I want people going to 6 games or less. Period. That's what I want to see from this team. We're too explosive. We're way too explosive. If we can just tighten up on say if our defense is like a 4 or 5 now, we can get it to a 7. We should be unstoppable. We should be unstoppable. Period. Hey, let's get them likes up, y'all. We got 77 likes in here, y'all. Let's try to get to 80 likes and more in here. Appreciate the support, y'all. We almost 2 hours in here. Let's get them likes up. You see Mr. Smith in here politicking late. We
I was
talking
about to
about
say
this
this.
win, and we about to get up out of here in a minute. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Respect. Let's show some respect for these late lives.
I gotta go tend to some things or whatever.
All right,
But,
Mr. Smith. Appreciate tapping
we'll
in.
definitely tap in after the next game.
Okay.
Hopefully, you know what I mean.
Salute,
Bucks
salute.
are my adopted team for years. The Knicks.
Hey, we need you here, Mr. Smith. When you tap in, it's always a pleasure. Hey, Bucks Nation mess with you heavy, so we appreciate you tapping in, Mr. Smith. And we want to see you after that Knicks win. We gonna cook them too, Mr. Smith. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
We got them.
We're gonna run into the same problem, right? They offer the same issue as Atlanta does, right? That mid-range game. Jaylen is an absolute nightmare in the mid-range. But the answer to that is that if he's gonna go off, so be it. No one else goes off, and then Jaylen is you against the entire.
And we'll take that. And we'll take that
every day.
Every day.
On Sunday.
Right? All right, my man, Mr. Smith. Appreciate you tapping in, Mr. Smith. Go. Hey, y'all, that's a chat legend right there, Mr. Smith. Let me get a few more comments in here, then I'm going to tap out here, y'all. Appreciate the chat. Hey, we at 79. Let's try to get over 80 likes up in here, y'all. Salute, salute. I see you going off in the chat, Giannis, about the defense. Hey, you need to be the vocal leader on the team and get people where they need to be, sir. Y'all need to get that communication cracking on defense so the young dudes don't look lost. Y'all should be practicing that, and that should be done in practice. Communication is key, sir. That's how relationships survive, and that's how you survive out there in the basketball court. Communication, y'all, is very important. Let me get a couple of these comments. Othello Rucker was good. I get, but Chris won't be sprinting no time soon with them knees. Jesus Christ. Brandon said, we'll figure it out, Bucks. Hey, we figure it out. It's a work in progress, and we winning games. Elijah said these players are going to round into form. Othello Chris was out there sprinting. He was sprinting and jumping, fighting for rebound. He looked decent today. He did look decent. Squid said, I like Chris, but I don't think they're telling us the whole truth when it comes to Chris. I would like to keep him, though. I agree. Maybe we just keep his minutes down permanently. We'll see what's up. Appreciate y'all. We got 80 likes up here. We get past it. Let's go, y'all. WFSO said, just joined in Bucks Nation. I had to put my video up. Like to start on the first quarter. Facts. Giannis says Celtics and Heat expose this team every year. They won't this year, sir. I got money on it this year. We got a whole different animal. We got a closer, a legit, like a beastly closer. And Dame, man, relax. We straight. We straight. David Jonas said, positive vibes here. Imposter, we give criticism where it's due. Yeah, that's it. We just give criticism where it's due. That's a fact. My boy Gibson with the peace and blessings. Shout out to my boy Gibson. Nicholas is in the house. What up, Dud? Squid said Marjan commit fouls anytime they put him in. It's not that he's committing fouls. He's not getting the respect yet as a defender. They're calling a lot of ticky-tack calls on Marjan. I think are trash calls on Marjan, to be honest with. But yes, technically, he's getting a lot of fouls. True. Stacy, yeah, Reggie Bullock. That was his name. What up, Stacy? Shout out. I see you in the chat, AJ. Get through a couple of more of these comments. I'm going to get out of here. Stacy said, peace and love, Eliza. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get through a couple more of these. Proper G said, I trade Pat for faded Clorox clothes. Come on, fam. We're not going to do that. Pat is injured. He can't even defend himself right now. Come on, y'all. We're Janet MOC squad. Janet MOC was good at Giannis. If that were true, the Celtics would have a championship by now. Thank you. Everybody act like the Celtics is world beaters. They still have not won a championship since what, 2008? Chinky was still hot in 2008. Man, I don't want to hear about no Celtics. If you're not putting up no banners, I don't want to hear about what you doing. You just trying. Celtics. And the Heat. Y'all ain't won nothing since LeBron left. Y'all ain't no threat either. These teams. And Philly, you ain't won nothing. Man, let me think. So y'all won something 83. I don't even think crack was out yet since the last time that since the 76ers won a championship. So they can kick rocks and pound sand as well. Get them up out of here. Green Ranger was good. Shout out to Mr. Cool. I was not sold on Beasley, but he's been really good. I'm on board with Beasley as a starter now. Facts, I'm not against that. Shout out to Green Ranger. Shout out to Mr. Cool. Shout out to my boy Dale Joseph. This dude, Dale Joseph, said Beasley can't start a car, let alone an NBA team. It's crazy. Dude. Why are y'all going in on Trey's hair? He know he need to cut it. Let that man work through them personal issues. He know he need to cut that thin hair, but you know, it is what it is. Go ahead and come to the Caesar, bro. Go ahead. You know, the Caesar clean, bro. Hey, Trey, come to the Caesar, bro. You see Derek White cut off whatever that mop he had on his head. Trey next. Don't even worry about it. He next. Josh James said, anybody knows mid-range Giannis is shooting over 50% as a reason? Yes. Shout out to Giannis. Giannis is playing very well this year. He needs to be in way more discussions for MVP. It's just a hate on the Bucks. I feel like the NBA has something against the Bucks. Like they call the refs, hey, make it hard on them tonight. Don't give them no calls. Don't give Dame nothing. Don't give Giannis nothing unless he bleed. Make it hard on him. That's why I always say, y'all think I'm being emotional. I'll be like, when we beat a team, we beat the team and the refs. Because we don't never get the kind of calls we should be getting, man. That's crazy. I see Giannis, you going off in the chat, fam. I'm gonna let the people talk to you. Cause you kind of wilding out there. Gibson said Mr. Smith's spitting pure facts. Yes, he is. Janet MOC squad said it's a full moon seemingly in these comments. Shout out to Janet. Oh, I don't know if I seen Brenda in here, but shout out to Brenda. I don't know if I seen her in there. Cynthia, let me know if you seen Brenda. I always want to shout her out or put her comment. I don't know if she was in the live today, but shout out to Brenda too. And Patricia. I don't know if I see Patricia today. Shout out. Dale Joseph Amara, Giannis is a Boston fan. Yeah, it looks like in his chat. WFSO said that amaraslogic laughing my ass off. What up? I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I'm happy to report the Bucks are back on the win streak. Shout out to Bucks Nation. Let's go. We got that W. 132. Let me get them stats up specifically. 132, 121. So to get that win in front of friends and family at Fiserv Forum, where Giannis had a triple double with 32, 11, and 10. Dame had 25, 6 rebounds, 9 assists with a plus 14 plus minus, which was tied for highest on the team as the Bucks get back on the win streak. And we about to cook the Knicks coming up here in the in-season tourney game. I hope to see y'all back here. If you haven't already, please comment, like, subscribe, and share the electrifying content with other Bucks fans. Let's try to get this thing as big as we can this year. Hey, I'll try to make this the final call where you need to be for all Bucks information and content. I need y'all to help me do that by sharing, hitting the like button, and just showing the same support y'all do. I love all y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Please don't forget to hit the like button on y'all way out. And we're about to whoop the Knicks too. Tired of all this. I want to blow out. Let's blow them out. Get them up out of here. The Knicks is tap water anyway with one good player. Let's get them up out of here. Let's go, Bucks Nation. Shout out to the Best Bucks chat on YouTube. This is the Best Bucks podcast on YouTube. And if you believe that, please hit the like button on your way out so everybody else know how tough this podcast is. Shout out to y'all. Gone. We be in here cracking, man. This podcast is the truth. Man, we be in here with receipts. Pam and them be putting these stats out, man. Where else could you be for Bucks content but here? Where else would you want to be? This is where you need to be. Hit the like button. Go.